Hello, Drift fans, and welcome. We are here at Okayama International Circuit. It's a beautiful day. It's hot, but there is a beautiful setting here for Round 3 of Formula Drift Japan. This is also a Formula Drift World Championship round. I'm Jared Dienda, and joining me is a great friend and host, and it's great to be here, and just such a dynamic setting, and truly, Formula Drift has grown over the years, but great to be here. Ryan Sage.
Yeah, super stoked to be here for the last and final round of the Japan side of the World Championship, and got some great faces here, some awesome qualifying yesterday, and though it is a little bit sticky out and hot, we're enjoying ourselves, and it's been fun to be out here at Okayama.
When it comes down to it, we like to see dry conditions, a real dynamic track, exciting fans, so thank you for tuning in. Tell your friends now they can watch live, as we are live. Local time here is almost 9 a.m., so waking up early and rising for the occasion. So, like I said, dry conditions, really cool track, very fast. Yesterday, no accidents. We didn't see a single accident. We saw some amazing qualifying.
This is a track you can push it quite a bit, especially from initiation into the first turn. There is one section on the course that gets a little bit hairy, and that's on the third outer zone where we have this little passage that you have to get through. And we didn't see anybody go into the wall yesterday, though we saw some guys get close. But I'm certain today for head-to-head, guys are going to be pushing it a little bit harder, and, things happen.
And this is Motor Games, which is an all-inclusive event. We got freestyle motocross demos, the Offset Kings car show. Also, there's the GT86 Cup. But today, it's all about Formula Drift. We'll have a halftime break here, which lasts about a couple hours, depending on how long Top 32 goes. It's kind of a standardized event. But yesterday, qualifying, we whittled down to 32 drivers from estimated about 38 drivers. So a few unfortunate souls watching from the grandstands. But qualifying was fun, and you could see evidence there on track. This is, I think, yesterday halfway through, wouldn't you say that you kind of got excited for head-to-head today's action?
Yeah, definitely picked up. Qualifying was really awesome, and I know that they're going to – we have to give them keywords so that they know when to play the top 10.
Gotcha. Like top 10 qualifying. Let's go ahead and check out top 10 qualifying.
Well, back and he was able to qualify 6, but we'll go through top 10. There's definitely a lot of standouts for me, though, in this event this afternoon.
All right, so Kei Takanahashi, fun driver, really dynamic, top speed, top tool, a lot of top, good ride, fun driver to watch.
Yeah, another driver here qualifying 9th was Kazuto Ichiyanagi. Decent run for him in run number 1, bettered it up in run number 2. We saw that kind of happening quite a bit for a few drivers that were just trying to put something down in run number 1, get in the mix, and then better for run 2.
Ben Williams, absolutely impressed with this Sora here, this Australian fellow that lives here in Japan, really put down. Soras traditionally are heavier cars, but he looks very nimble.
You may know this guy qualifying at 7, Kenji Yamanaka. Spent some time in the States and still looking strong out here in Japan, and he'll be slotted right into number 7.
Yeah, Kenji Yamanaka, fun-loving dude. Another notable name, as you said, spun out on his first run, but on his second run, put it down. He said he kind of pulled a Turk, came back out of the shadows and put down a solid run. The chrome nose of that S15, look out for him today.
Yeah, always one to watch. And then finally, in our number 5th spot, Kazuya Iizuka. Very solid driver, looking really good. One of the mini drivers in a JZX 100. And we'll see a few more of the four-door family here this weekend as well, but that's our number 5 driver.
Very popular car. Continue on with that, the Power Vehicles vehicle that is Andrew Gray. Talking to his wife yesterday, she says, man, babe, power all the way through the finish line. He's noted. But he still put down a great run. Look out for him in head-to-head. I think he's really going to flourish out here at Okayama.
Well, he is the most popular driver in the world as far as social media is concerned, and that's Mad Mike Wadette. He's a global driver that spends a lot of time in various parts of the world. Right now doing a Japan stint, but also in the States where he's competing with a different vehicle. So Mad Mike Wadette, your number 3 qualifier, your winner of the last round at Ebisu, and moving on to number 2.
Well, you got to say, qualifying number 2, but also getting the same score, defected to the other score, an 89 as Kazuki Hayashi in the other D-Max S15, his teammate there, that is Yokoi. Fun driver, just threw it in there, and I think that was the really standout moment in my eyes when they shoot that gap. That really just defines how crazy that driver is. But our number 1 qualifier.
Our number 1 driver is Masaki Kasahara. Wasn't expected to be the number 1 qualifier, but threw out a really insane run that impressed the judges. He was pretty happy on the podium yesterday. He had some funny words to say. One driver we did not see in the top 10 is Seimi Tanaka, who is a teammate of Masashi Yokoi, and he's certainly one to, I believe of Hayashi, actually.
Yeah.
And he's certainly one to watch for, but we've got a stacked field of top 32 as we make our way and prepare for our first battle.
20 years old is Kasahara, and from what I understand, Murakami, who he's supposed to go against, has broken, so he should be seeing a bye run. If he didn't already drive well enough, go and hand him a victory right out of the gate and advance on to the top 16.
It's always nice if you can get a bye from 32 into 16. For a lot of the drivers, we see it happen a little bit in the States when we hover right around that 32, 31 driver field, depending on where we go. But yeah, for Kasahara, it'll be easy.
What are some other
top 16?
Yeah, what are some of the other things standing out as far as World Championship? Let's talk about that and what that means today for Chris Forsberg, Mad Mike Wadette, even Matt Field and Andrew Gray. This is a World Championship round. Maybe you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, well, Matt Field, Mad Mike Wadette, Andrew Gray were all drivers that had qualified for the World Championship pretty much right out of the gate because they competed in the first round of the World Championship, which was Ebisu. You need to qualify. You need to compete in at least one of the Japan rounds in order to qualify for the World Championship. As the season had kind of gone on and the points had fallen where they currently are, Chris saw an opportunity, it looks like, obviously, to capture that World Championship, so he needed to come out here and do a qualifying pass in order to qualify for the World Championship. Now, he's got himself in a really good position because he's quite ahead of second-place Matt Field. In the overall point structure, he's got more than about 200 points between him and Matt, and also that of Mad Mike. So we'll see what happens after this event and where that goes. I mean, there's still mathematical possibility. If Chris were to have a really bad remainder of the season, but certainly he knows that he's hedging his bet to try to compete for that World Championship.
A really fun track. It is, if you don't know where we're at, Okayama, it's out there. It's out there quite a ways, and this backdrop, it looks like Crouching Tiger and Hidden Dragon. I mean, some of these trees over here are absolutely picturesque, but it's stagnant. There's no wind today. It's hot. The fans are enduring, some really hot conditions. And there you go, the lone driver on the start line, and that is Masaki Kasahara, who qualified number 1. As well as he will get a bye run here, advancing him in to the top 16. So it should make for, obviously, an easy entry into the top 16. But if he isn't already throwing down some solid runs yesterday in qualifying, right now he's going to get a bye run and go into the top 16. Good little practice run here for Masaki. Look at that. A lot of confidence going into the gap, shooting that hole, getting it in that third and final rear clipping zone, and then tightening up to the final clip. That's a good practice run. They had about 30 minutes this morning, or no, 50 minutes, excuse me. It was initially, I think, 20 or 30 minutes, and then they forewent the drivers' meeting this morning. They had it last night or yesterday and said, you know what, let's throw some more practice at you and get a shakedown.
Yeah, an extra 20 minutes or so just to kind of get warmed up here. The schedule here is a lot different than it is back in the States. 5 hours of practice before we get to the first qualifying run is standard in the States. Here, they basically break it up in groups. On Thursday, it's about 50 minutes each. You can participate in one of the groups or all of the groups depending on what your situation is. It's an hour for practice before qualifying and an hour for practice before head-to-head. So these guys have to get used to the vehicle setup as quickly as possible in order to put on a show.
All right, so having some a little bit of delays here getting the cars to the start line. Taichi Hisano and Yamashita. Is that how you pronounce it? Yamashita, yeah. Thank you. And that was the name that we've,
I butchered it.
You've had some cackles over it.
I've had some history over it, yeah. That was Fuji year 1.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
that
was nice.
Good times. Well, thank you for joining us. Local time, again, 9 a.m. back at home. West Coast time, 5:04. And the East Coast, 9:04 a.m. Or excuse me, p.m. Sorry, 8 p.m. Thank you for tuning in. Final round, World Championship. Just getting things going. Ryan, we were talking yesterday about Texas, Formula Drift Texas, the next round, and as well as Irwindale. Do you think it's going to come down to Irwindale for the championship?
Well, usually or typically in the past we've seen, you know, not as close of a points race as we see right now. Now that obviously could change coming out of Texas, but I mean the top 3 guys are basically, you know, within a few points of each other. So I would expect that every single battle is going to have significance in Texas and Irwindale, and I'm pretty certain that it'll come down to, you know, just as it has in the past, you know, coming down to almost the last run of the last event of the year. So, but you know, you've got Osbo positioned for a back-to-back championship. You've got Gittin looking for his second. You've got Chris looking for his third.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting.
He'd be the first to grab 3 championships. You know, we have a couple 2-time champions, Tanner Faust, Sam Hubinet, and Chris Forsberg, but no 3-time champions. Daigo Saito is here in the building. He prepared Chris Forsberg's car, but not driving. Do you know the reasoning behind that?
He hasn't regularly drove FD Japan. I think he picked a few selected events. He did Ebisu with Sammy Hubinet's old vehicle, and then blew that up. And so that's just a nice, expensive paperweight now. But.
Yeah. All right, Hisano and Yamashita. Hisano's car, an absolute stunner. Hisano, car number 132. Here we go, coming into that first rear clipping zone. I mean, 2 great-looking cars, just exuding that JDM style. Into that first rear clipping zone. Nice job by the S15 of Hisano. Now shooting the gap. Solid job by the JZX coming around that final clip. Ryan, it seems like they're kind of running their own independent line as far as, you know, what the judges laid out, if you could elaborate as well when you watch this run again.
Well, it looks like Yamashita maybe didn't get the greatest jump out of the gate. Kind of gives a little bit of room here to Isano. That might be strategy if his car's got a little bit more grip, but it was hard to say from the onset. You could see a little bit of a gap established here as Isano tries to reach out to that first outer zone. You can see a little bit of a flub right there by Yamashita in the chase position, looking to mirror the line, obviously. Isano now on a mid-line coming through that little section there with the wall, and then the last corner here, both drivers trying to finish up their runs. You can see Isano passes that last inside clip with Yamashita in tow.
Yeah, Yamashita on that front clip ran that wider line. Seemed like he wasn't completely on him. Let's take a look at it again from the far side of the track. You can see Hisano, shallow angle, good speed. Now really pouring it on there, Yamashita. Closing that gap towards the latter part of the track. And I got to say, Hisano wasn't exactly like the most dynamic lead run. I mean, it was showing up. It was good. I mean, dynamic by comparison.
The first half I thought was much better than the second half. Yamashita made a couple mistakes in the chase position as well. The judges had really been emphasizing, look, go out and run a 100-point qualifying run, and the chase driver, you should go wherever they go, use them a moving clipping point. These are common phrases that we hear all the time, but really pounding that home, trying to put on the best possible show that we can, and really have clear winners out of these battles.
All right, Yamashita out front, Hisano giving chase. Interesting, what happened? Okay. So Hisano takes a big jump here. How is Yamashita? So Hisano thinks that he's outpowered here by given that was a big jump here. I don't know if that's going to help him or hurt him in this situation. Now Yamashita putting down a good lead run. Hisano, like I said, I think that, look at minimal angle there, shooting the gap. So Hisano taking that big jump. Ryan, do you think that worked out well for him?
Whenever we see that happen, I would say I don't think I've ever seen it work successfully when somebody gets a big jump like that, because you really have to be precise with the timing, and then by the time they realize that they're too far out ahead in order to get the speed for initiation, there goes the lead driver blasting right by him, and they've established a 4 or 5 car gap here. Now you can see the big angle by Yamashita. Doesn't get totally out into that zone, but Isano was really lacking the angle, probably because he didn't have enough speed to get into the first corner, and it happens here again too, coming through the center section, losing the angle here. So I don't think that strategy paid off for him. I think it's going to give an advantage to Isano, or Yamashita definitely on this run, but now the judges will take both into account and see who moves on to the top 16.
All right, you can see our 3 judges, Andy Yen, Robbie Nishida, and Ryan Lontaine, and Yamashita gets the win unanimously. Yamashita in that brand new vehicle, great looking car. So Yamashita gets the win. that teamwork, Team Well JZX Mark II. So congratulations to him. Yamashita. Our Japanese counterparts, we got Tom, and looks like Arito in the building, and last Alexi, aka Noriyaru. All right, seeing one car here, and that being Ben Williams. Ben Williams, earlier in practice, Yingxing Nian, who from Singapore, he went to the kitty litter in kind of an interesting place, some place that we've never seen cars go into, so you wonder if something's wrong with this vehicle.
Yeah, well, he actually had to get hauled off physically in the air, which was quite interesting. Yeah.
Oh, wow, really?
So, yeah, they put him up on their version of flatbed.
Like a claw game, just picked him right up?
Yeah, they had straps around it and the whole nine.
Yeah, I was just walking up when I saw him in the kitty litter, so. Okay, so Yingxing Yan, we're hearing that he called a competition timeout. Ryan, you're just like standard Formula Drift, let's call it what it is, U.S. or North American Championship. You're allowed one competition timeout, 5-minute allotment. Use it once and only once.
Yeah, and to give people at home a little bit of context, you know, it's back in the U.S. when we are having dialogue with the people that run race control.
Right.
It's really easy for us to understand what's going on.
Right.
Here, a little bit more challenging.
Little language barrier.
A little bit more pointing, and you know, so if we sound confused, it's probably because we are. But they do a good job.
No, it's a growth thing. I would say that, you know, we institute our standardization of some of the rules, and Owada-san, who is the proprietor of FD Japan, Formula Drift Japan, has done a good job of, you know, basically instituting and standardizing it so it's cohesive with what a lot of the drift fans and drift drivers are used to. All right, Ichinaga and Taguchi. The 999, Kazuya Taguchi. He is to be on the start line in that upgrade S15. Ichinaga, the Zeke S13. He's on the start line. Are we going to be seeing the Up Garage Sylvia? Great looking car, put down a good run yesterday. So it looks like, yeah, so it's going to be a buy run. Another buy run, unfortunately. So we're inquiring Kazuya Taguchi. Okay, so there it is. There's Taguchi. Just kind of getting set up here. Looks like some issues there with the start light. Big track, a lot of racing going down here years ago. Formula One. Ayrton Senna won the last race here.
I think Michael Schumacher still holds the track lap record as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty crazy to think, though, that I mean, that was probably, was that in the 70s?
It's fairly recent. I mean, you know, Ayrton Senna passed away in the 90s. I mean, we can look it up on, we have computers.
Probably the 80s, then, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to me to think that Formula One would come to a track like this. Not because it's not a beautiful and great track, because
remote.
You have to realize what it takes to get here.
Yeah, think about Toter Holmes coming up those. And when we say single lane roads, it's literally one lane, not one lane either direction. It's one lane.
Right.
Ryan, a little bit of lull here in the action. Thank you for tuning in. Formula Drift Japan, thumbs up. We're ready to go. All right, now we're ready. Ichinaga is going to lead in the S13. Taguchi, great looking. S15, up garage. All right, here we go. Ichinaga initiating. Well done by Taguchi. I say that, initiating at the same time, but giving himself some distance here. Can Taguchi make that up? Ichinaga transitioning in that front clip. Taguchi transitions back. Shooting the gap with Ichinaga. Taguchi gaining some ground. Maintaining the angle, both the drivers. Taguchi. Nice, allowing him just to navigate. Taguchi gains that ground, proximity, but also grabs a little bit of grass going off the track. Just warming things up here.
Well, a bit of a slower start for Taguchi. You can see, we'll see it from another angle. He gives a little bit more separation than you'd like on initiation to Ichinagi. Ichinagi throws it in here. You can see there's that separation. And then Taguchi's playing catch-up as Ichinagi goes deep into that first outer zone, wrapping back around to this inside clip here. Still a bit of separation. And then the attack on the inside right here by Taguchi, trying to peel away some of that advantage from the first half of the run. You can see he's going to stick his nose in right here, just go off course a little bit with that left front. And now they will switch positions. Taguchi going to the lead as Ichinagi gives chase, and there's that alternative view, Jared.
Yeah, I like this angle. Just shows a little more angle coming down the hill, and it does show that elevation change. They come downhill and into that gap. So you got to imagine they're gaining speed, and then as soon as they go through that gap, split the course, they're starting to go uphill now with the elevation change. Really good tracking shot from the opposite side of the track. All right, so Taguchi will now lead.
There's Big Kev.
Big Kev holding it down. Is Kev on the ground working the light? Yeah, there he is. There's Big Kev. I think there's a Pokemon gym there at the start light. Big Kev holding it down. That's cool. Mr. Pollock, Justin Pollock's dad, he gave him his hat. Same hat.
Yeah.
I joke, but Justin Pollock's dad, great guy. You know he's a baseball umpire? You know
I didn't know that. No,
yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's awesome.
He's
like
a credit. Not major league, but he's a baseball umpire.
What would be your call for strikes how would you go about doing it?
Ha! Right? Because it's more of like an audible, like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Pollock's dad wears the same hat that Big Kev wears, Kevin Wells. All right, here we go. Nice job. Taguchi initiates. Ichinagi. Oh, applying the pressure. But just like we saw earlier with that JZX, he goes off on that front clip. Having some difficult time, losing some ground, also some angle, compromising the angle, trying to gain the proximity. Taguchi crawling up the hill. Ichinagi. A little bit of tip for tat. I don't know. I mean, I would say Taguchi had some mistakes there in the chase.
Well, I think Ichinagi is going to get the better of the two leads, at least in the first half of the run, or the first section of the course, from initiation to outer zone number 1. You'll see here Taguchi initiates. Now he's got a lot of e-brake there. He slows up quite a bit. You can see it allows Ichinagi to stay with him. He mirrors the angle here. Taguchi wraps around to this inside clip. Ichinaga falls back for a second, but then he's back on the attack again on the inside here. A little bit of wavering there. Big angle by Taguchi in the last part of the course. And, in talking to the judges last night, there's emphasis on every part of the course, but really that last inside clip is super, super easy. So the allocation of points is really heavy from outer zone 1 to inside clip 1 and then to outer zone number 3, where the majority of the mistakes can be made. So we'll see how the judges take both runs into account and figure out if we've got a winner or one more time perhaps.
What are you thinking? So you're saying Taguchi, the S13 or the S15? Taguchi or Ichinagi?
I would probably be leaning towards Ichinagi, I guess.
All right. Well, we'll see which way the judges lean. Yen. Okay, so one more time there from Andy Yen. Robbie Nishida, one more time. So it's a one more time between these two gentlemen, and it is unanimous from all the judges. And I'd agree. I think there were, like you said, from outer zone 1 where it starts to outer zone 3 where they shoot the gap, it's right in front of the judges. To the naked eye, you could see them when they pass that front clip. These guys really need to tighten it up, I would say, on that, get big angle, but tighten it up in the chase position.
Well, certainly, you want to
pass the front clip
and getting that start right. We saw no, that was the last battle, but you want to get the positioning into outer zone number 1 as best as you possibly can, because it really sets up the rest of the course. So
we're seeing Ben Williams now on the start line, and no Yingxing Yen. Unfortunately for the Singaporean driver, it is come to an end. So Ben Williams from Australia in that Soarer Kazama Power Vehicles. Talked to him yesterday, and he says, man, I said, just watch him yesterday. I was really stoked for him. I said, man, I haven't seen a Soarer do this well in quite some time, and no offense to Soarer drivers, Cameron Moore, a Soarer driver, but the way he handled this car yesterday was really, really powerful.
A little ode to Ueno, I would say, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ueno, he had one of the sickest Soarers. I think anybody who drives a Soarer really kind of emulates or admires that style and that Vertex, Suivax, Ueno style. Tomohiro Nakamura and Andrew Gray. Nakamura qualifying 29th yesterday. Andrew Gray qualifying 4th. Watch Gray here. He's going to be leading. I think he's going to show some dominance here out front. Okay, so that's a reasonable jump there, but then he just then he backs off. Nakamura, he got the jump, but now Andrew Gray is off to the races, literally and figuratively. Andrew Gray get into that our zone. Nice job, Nakamura. Nowhere to be found. Even makes a big mistake there as he falls back. Gray through the course. Nice job. Well played. Nakamura now coming into view as Andrew Gray powers through the finish line. Obvious advantage to Andrew Gray.
Yeah, not much to nuance there. I mean, obviously, Nakamura just did not get the proper jump out of the gate, as we mentioned before in the battle with Isano and Yamashita. You can see here, there's that slowdown. He gets a little bit of a jump, slows down, doesn't anticipate it, and then Andrew Gray is off like a rocket ship, and he's pretty much taking a huge advantage after run number 1. And then you've got that mistake there by Nakamura in the chase position. So tough break for him. Obviously, Andrew Gray still needs to play it somewhat safe and conservatively here, but he does have a very, very solid opportunity to move into the top 16.
Talking, again, I was having some words with his wife there at Top 32 announcement yesterday, and she was just elaborating on, Andrew and his season and power vehicles and what they do and just their efforts doing Pro 2 last year, doing Pro this year. They have a vehicle that was built, unfortunately he missed round 1. The vehicle wasn't done for round 1 in Long Beach. They've been working on the car. It seems to be getting more power, a little more dial, just finding the sweet spot, just like this car. And the comments that he hears, like, why can't you drive like that in the States? And it's like, hey, believe me, we're trying, we're getting there. And she just says the level of driving in the States is just insane. You gotta bring it. And we saw some amazing qualifying runs, and I think once we whittle it down here to the 16, it's going to turn up. And 8, even better. But Andrew and their efforts, power vehicles, what they do, they want to make a name for themselves. They want to be reasonable about it and, put down a solid effort. But, exemplary vehicle here, great driver, obvious talent. So definitely want to say, whoa, way off course. Oh, man. Overcooked it, and Andrew Gray continues through the course, and that's going to be an obvious advantage or not an advantage, but let's call it what it is, a victory for Mr. Gray.
Yeah, no, it's a good point you bring up. A really tough challenge is living in another country and then commuting to the U.S. to compete in the toughest drift championship in the world. And Andrew's first pole at it this year has been a really, really good job in setting himself up. And I think we have yet to see the best of him in the U.S. people that have followed FD Japan have seen how he drives and what kind of vehicles he sets up. And he's not necessarily totally used to driving on banks, which we do a lot of. So it is going to take a little bit of time for him to get things the way that he wants to. But he is such a true talent in the sport, and people that have followed this series in Japan have certainly seen that time and time again.
So his event, or excuse me, their business is at Ebisu Circuit, and you go buy a car, you drift. It's a drift experience. They have housing and the whole nine. So if you have aspirations of coming to Japan and getting down, it's definitely an experience. Reach out to Power Vehicles. So Andrew Gray advances on. We're revisiting the Ichinagi and Taguchi battle. This is the one more time. For the Up Garage S15 of Taguchi. And there's the S13 of Ichinagi. Thumbs up from the drivers, ready to send it. All right, here we go. Ichinagi up front, Taguchi giving chase. Lesson learned on that first battle. Is Taguchi going to step up? Ichinagi, is he going to be even more dominant? Into that first rear clipping zone, Ichinagi just kissing the rumble strip. Taguchi transitioning into that final rear clipping zone. So there's that kind of critical part. Taguchi closing the gap. Big angle from Ichinagi and spinning out. Threw too much angle at it and rotates. So I would say Taguchi had a decent chase run, but just was given a gift with Ichinagi spinning out.
Yeah, I mean, Taguchi, when we go back and watch this replay, you'll see on initiation he was lacking the angle that Ichinagi had. Ichinagi was able to get out to that first outer zone. He probably would have carried an advantage into run number 2, though it was closer this time around, but then just making that critical mistake coming out of the final turn into the last inside clip. So you can see big angle here from Ichinagi. From that, there you can see the tail ends of that lacking of angle, but that actually started from the get-go. Our perspective, we can actually see the entirety of the course from above. The perspective that you're seeing here from this shot, we're actually a little bit higher than that. And then right here, Ichinagi spins out, gives the advantage to Taguchi, and Taguchi now will have the lead in run number 2.
So unfortunately for Ichinagi, that will be the needle pointing in the other direction as far as advantage. Anything can happen, though. Taguchi needs to put down a solid lead run through the course, keep it sideways. He'll have the victory, but it's not going to come easy. Sumisen. Huh? Sumisen. Got some yelling going on over here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Somebody's mad.
Somebody's getting raging over here. All right, so here we go. Taguchi out front. Ichinagi. Give it to. Oh, look at Ichinagi chasing him down, trying to make up for that spin. As long as Taguchi keeps between the lines. Big angle there from Taguchi. Tightens it up. Ichinagi way off that second rear clipping zone now. Bring it back in. Just closing it, opening that gap. And unfortunately for Ichinagi, not enough to offset that spin.
Valiant effort here on run number 2 to try to force an air from Taguchi, but alas, no success there. You can see he gets out very aggressively in the chase position, puts it pretty much right to the door of Taguchi with big angle from the beginning. And a hard-fought battle here by Ichinagi. Taguchi just did too much, and with that spin, it's going to be enough to give Taguchi the win.
Daisuke Nakamura and Semi Tanaka are up next. We'll get the victory here. 4. That is Taguchi. Let's make it official. The 999 up garage Sylvia S15. Kazuya Taguchi gets the victory, knocking out Kazuto Ichinagi. All right, Semi Tanaka, Daisuke Nakamura. 2 great-looking cars. You said you really like Semi Tanaka.
Semi is one of my favorite drivers. Yeah, he's super aggressive. He's one of those kind of guys that throws big angle on initiation. He's a very aggressive chase driver. Really fun to watch.
Semi Tanaka out front. Nakamura in chase. Oh. What's going on here? Okay, we're seeing flag thrown. Yep. Seen the red flag thrown. Was that a jump? All right, so we are getting clarification. Tanaka did jump to start. So, boom, flag drops, restart.
Yeah, the flaggers here get pitted for sure.
Track 1. See what I did there?
Yep.
Did the baseball? Well, how would you? How would you do a strike if you were a baseball umpire?
I would have a couple of different variations. Yeah. One would be like, ha!
Oh God, that was good.
And the other one, I also like it.
What was that? You sound like Eddie Vedder. Kick time. Or no, that, strike 1. Ryan spoken. Strike 1. Here we go, Tanaka Nakamura. Back at it again in the Sylvia battle. Oh, big angle from Tanaka. E-brake. Oh, but he looked like he was going to bite off a bit too much. Semi Tanaka bringing it into that final rear clipping zone. Nakamura drops at an angle. Tanaka back in it. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, Semi Tanaka starting off with a big initiation. He does grab a pretty big handful of e-brake here, but let's take a look at it for a second time as Nakamura in the chase position, trying to stay with him here. You can see big aggressive initiation here for Semi.
It looks like he's going to choke up here, but then, I don't know. I mean, he massaged that thing to get it out.
Yeah, and the judges talked a little bit about not doing the big angle initiation and then falling down on the line. He was able to massage it and get back out there, but he did pull a handful of e-brake. But in the chase position, Nakamura was making some pretty significant mistakes, especially straightening through the section between outer zone 2 and outer zone 3. We'll take a look at it again here as you can see that adjustment made by Tanaka. Then he gets back into outer zone number 1, wrapping back around to inside clip 2 here. And Nakamura still not able to really get the positioning that he wants. You can see that shallowing right there for a second coming through that zone. And then both drivers wrap around this last inside clip with still a bit of an advantage there to Tanaka.
Nakamura will be leading. Tanaka giving chase. It's the freestyle motocross announcer that's getting loud over there.
Right.
He's sounding like a baseball umpire right now.
Ha.
Here. Ha. Here we go. Out front, Nakamura. Semi giving chase. Tanaka-san. Nakamura using all of the course. Oh, look at Tanaka applying the... Oh, Nakamura losing some angle. Okay, let's definitely want to look at this again. Looked like there was a bit of contact. Semi Tanaka finishing through the course. There's a big straining from Nakamura out front. Tanaka, was it a separate incident? Did Nakamura straighten out, causing Tanaka to have the contact?
Yeah, that's what it looks like on first face.
Yeah.
It just looks like, obviously you got to give credit to Tanaka. He was certainly aggressive in the chase position. Nakamura looks like he straightens up, loses power of some sort, or not able to get into that turn appropriately, and then that's where the contact takes place. You can see Sami already right there. Well, let's watch to the front here. Yeah, you can see slowing from Nakamura, so I have to imagine that's going to be on Nakamura.
Yeah, so we are seeing some head shaking there from the judges. So that's going to be an advancement for Tanaka. He was on him. He was on him. If Nakamura continued with that angle, Tanaka had his number.
Yeah.
Is he getting super aggressive and just, you know?
Was that your bro, chat? Super. Semi Tanaka gets the victory. Semi Tanaka. Car number 222. Semi-style drift on Toyo tires, D-Max rims, and body, S15 Sylvia. Kazuya Izuka, and Daichi Oshiro. Daichi qualifying 28th, Izuka qualifying 5th under one of the JZX Cups. And here we go. What do we got? Oh, we got a cone down. Restart. Cone knocked down. Ha! God damn, it scared me.
Oh, strike one.
Strike one. Caught me off guard there.
You remember Naked Gun?
Yeah.
Leslie
Nielsen?
Nielsen, I think.
Yeah.
Where he's doing everything he can to avoid.
Naked Gun was a classic, featuring the comedic breakout star that is O.J. Simpson.
Yeah. Where he flies over the rafters.
At the Dodger game when he's in the wheelchair.
The wheelchair, yeah. Because he's always the whole premise is he's always getting hurt.
That's funny. All right, so Izuka with a ha, and then Oshiro, he will be giving chase. Oh, that's funny. All right, here we go. Izuka, Oshiro, coming to that first rear clipping zone. Izuka, big angle. Oshiro lacking it, but then gains that proximity. Izuka using all the course. Oshiro, good transition. Izuka out front. Oh, Oshiro. Every time he gets close, he's losing that angle, though. If we just dive in, get into the pocket, and hang tough. Izuka, solid run out front. You got to remember, Izuka qualified 5th.
Well, let's take a look at the replay here. You can see a lot of squatting from that car of Izuka as he comes down into this front straight, looking for a solid initiation here. Kind of rolls into it, bit of e-brake there. You can see Oshiro trying to max the angle out, matching it at least. Gets pretty close here, but you can see Izuka a bit more consistent out front, or you can see as he gets into that second initiation point there from outer zone 2 into outer zone 3. He gets the angle pretty quickly, stays consistent. A couple little flubs there in the chase by Oshiro in the following, but now he'll have an opportunity to go to the lead. As we take a look at it from the long view here, you can tell some difference in angle from Oshiro just at that one little section there, and I think we'll see another mistake right here. This is that part I was talking about from 2 to 3 right there. Just a little tiny adjustment and another one there. So he's got a little bit of work to do as he'll take the lead.
So Izuka, dominant out front. How will he navigate the chase? Like we were talking yesterday, there's some of these drivers, they really flourish in qualifying, but you can't win in qualifying. You gotta have the whole package.
Gotta have the full bag of tricks.
See the infamous shark car of Masuda-san waiting in the wings. He'll go against Taniguchi. Atsushi.
Nami.
What?
Nami. That's Tsunami.
Ah. Here we go. Oshiro out front. Izuka giving chase. Oshiro into the first rear clipping zone. Nice job is what we talked about. Is Izuka gonna apply the pressure? Right now he's looking strong into that first rear clip or front clip. Through the gap, Iizuka. Very settled, not wavering like Daichi did in that chase position. Iizuka a lot more confident in the chase position.
Yeah, not a lot of major complaints in the chase. I'd like to see him get a little bit closer if he can, just to kind of put an exclamation on it, but I think he might have done enough here. You can see good initiation there by Oshiro. Got those black wheels on. Stays pretty deep into outer zone 1, but Iizuka is pretty decently with him here. Like I said, I'd like to see him get a little bit closer, but he's not making the mistakes that Oshiro did in his chase position. Fairly consistent there. Solid lead run by Oshiro. It's close, but I think Iizuka's got a slight edge.
Yeah. And there is Iizuka. Unanimously gets the win. Kazuya Iizuka just went and got a water right there. There's gentlemen, our live stream folks right there. They said, "Oh, sorry, I'm gonna get a water." Mizu, hi, water. And I said, "Gracias."
No, was he to look at you like with the blank?
Yeah.
Like,
I obviously know that's Spanish, but it's just a reactionary thing. All right, there it is, the infamous Shark car. The completely ornamental blower off the hood. But the shark teeth, they're real. They're real. They're out for blood. Here we go. Masuda. Taniguchi. Masuda, big initiation. Nice. Very settled. Taniguchi chasing him down. I'd have to say he's given a bit too much room here. Masuda powering through the gap. Could have brought it out more to that rear clipping zone. Very fast through the course is Masuda-san. Taniguchi, I think he just gave himself way too much room.
Yeah, tried to put himself in a fighting position, but was not able to do it. Masuda gets out pretty decently here in his lead position. Nice snappy initiation, good rate to angle. He's able to hold that throttle on all the way through outer zone 1 and also get back on throttle pretty quickly after initiation. Nice job right there. You can see the separation developing here as Masuda passes through in a mid-high line. That's the only thing I could see maybe correcting, is getting a little bit deeper there on outer zone 3. But a good 5-car gap between him and Taniguchi. So now Taniguchi will have an opportunity to go to the lead and have his work cut out for him as we take a look at it here from initiation. You can see pretty clearly when the drivers get back on throttle. Initiate, there's a little bit of a pause, and then back on throttle. What the judges want to see is they want to see back on throttle as quickly as possible. If you can initiate and be right on throttle, even better. But they're really looking for that level of commitment, being that this is a close to 100 mile per hour initiation for a lot of the guys.
Yeah. Taniguchi will lead, Masuda giving chase. And the vehicles await for the light to extinguish. Let's see how Masuda handles the chase position. Is Taniguchi gonna get a jump similar to that of Masuda in his first run? Here we go. Taniguchi initiates. Masuda applying pressure. Oh, and Masuda off course. Masuda, unfortunately, a major mistake. Oh no! Taniguchi, bam, hard into the wall. A big hit there for Taniguchi.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna depend on what happened with
the accident or the contact early.
Yeah, because let's just run through a couple scenarios. If Masuda's was independent of Taniguchi's, that would be a 0 for both drivers. Means Masuda would probably win. If they're somehow interlinked here,
it was Taniguchi's car affected by the contact.
Let's take a look here. See, I think there's some maybe a little bit of contact there.
Oh, there was 100% contact.
You see the little piece flying off, but I want to know. I want to know what role it played in that, if any.
It just went right behind the screen. Yeah, it was a big hit. I mean, you could see all the corners of that car. got some.
I want to see that one more time.
Yeah.
See right there.
Yeah. So did that affect Taniguchi?
Well, what you want, what the judges are going to have to ascertain is, once there's contact, is who's at fault. That was clear contact, not necessarily collision, but the way that we treat both of them are still essentially getting a fault. So that way, in case there's a competition timeout, in case somebody needs to fix their vehicle for a certain period of time, the judges are able to give that to the technical staff so they can make the proper ruling.
So Masuda making contact, Taniguchi. But was it big enough? Was it contact or collision? Now, this is what we talk about in the States, and
that's contact. But I think the thing is that when we look at contact, we look at, was there wheel-to-wheel contact. If it's a cosmetic thing that doesn't interrupt a line or anything like that, that's no problem. But go back to the reason why we more clearly defined is to go back to Gittin Forsberg in New Jersey.
Okay.
It didn't even seem like they touched.
Right.
But they rubbed wheels to each other, and it got to a point where nobody knew they really had contact, but it had an effect on Vaughn's vehicle, to the point to where he probably should have been able to fix that vehicle, but because the way the rules are written, he wasn't allowed to do that. Now, nothing came of it. He ended up still winning the event, but had that contact happened on the other side, it would have been too dangerous to put the car back out on course.
Right. Such a unique way of getting cars off course. So we will get Taniguchi's vehicle off course here. Masuda-san, you saw him getting towed off here. So we'll clean up on aisle 2, and we'll be back. Thanks for joining us out here at Okayama International Circuit, Formula Drift Japan, as we are seeing some great battles, some excitement when we return here to Okayama International Circuit.
We're wrapping up the cleanup from the last battle of Masuda and Taniguchi, and what the judges have been looking at during the break is basically the contact at initiation, and then obviously what possibly led to that. Now, what possibly led to that is what's going to be of importance here. I think the judges think that, based on the best information available, the contact by Masuda damaged the rear suspension of Taniguchi. He crashes in a really weird place that we haven't seen at all. Then the car's really damaged after that. So I think they're leaning towards the conclusion that Masuda will be at fault for that contact. If that is the case, it would zero him out. So let's find out here. Yep.
And there it is.
So that would default to run number 1, even though Masuda had the better run. It's
going to
go to Taniguchi.
So it's all about deeming fault. So Masuda at fault, Taniguchi spins out, wheel-to-wheel contact. So Atsushi Taniguchi advances on to the top 16, and he has some serious work ahead of him. I mean, every corner was hit on that car, and that's a very unforgiving concrete wall.
We've never seen anybody crash in that location. That's why I think I agree with the direction they're going and giving the fault to Masuda, but then also the subsequent crash down here, not making it be an independent thing.
Yeah.
You getting mad or what?
No, I'm not getting mad.
You don't like it?
No, I completely agree. All right, Hayashi and Ken Nomura, a.k.a. Nomakin, at R34. Hayashi qualified number 2. How's Nomakin going to handle our number 2 qualifier that is Hayashi? Well done. Right now, Nomakin aggressive in that chase position. Nomakin closing the door. Hayashi very strong out front, Ryan.
Tough battle here to go up against in the top 34, top 32 for Nomura. Second ranked qualifier Hayashi, certainly one of the favored drivers out there this weekend. Let's take a look at it here. Very aggressive flick into initiation here by Hayashi. Nomura staying with him though. Good angle here, matching it through that first outer zone, wrapping back around to this inside clip. Still good battle here. Hayashi solid lead on the inside here, trying to take away a little bit of distance from Hayashi is Nomura, and then the final turn here, both drivers looking pretty good, but no major mistakes in the lead by Hayashi. So a very high standard for Nomura that he's going to have to take on in his lead position, and Hayashi, you certainly know, is going to be there to battle in the chase.
Let's see how Ken Nomura handles it up front. Kazuki Hayashi only bettered by, because we had 2 89s, Hayashi and it was Kasahara, and Kasahara is in top 16 already. Let's see how Kazuki Hayashi can chase down Ken Nomura, a.k.a. Nomakin. This should be a fun one to watch. The big R34, but this nimble S15, very fast Hayashi. Nomakin leaving the start line. Hayashi initiating, slowly inching closer to the R34, compromising some angle, gaining some proximity. Ken Nomura quickly getting through. Oh, Hayashi getting out to outside zone. Yeah, Ryan, a bit nervous there, huh?
He almost made contact.
So Nomura, Hayashi, I would say that was just a complete arm wrestling match and dominated it. Look at it again.
Yes. I was kind of expecting Hayashi to put up a little bit more of an aggressive fight here, but you can see Ken Nomura initiates, nice aggressive initiation there. Big e-brake pull now. He was doing that yesterday as well. You can see the qualification, obviously a resultant of portions of that, but then get right back on throttle, deep into that into the first and second outer zone. Pretty consistent out front here. Hayashi, back a ways, almost makes contact with that third outer zone. So not the greatest.
Not the prettiest?
Not the prettiest. Here it is again. Give you another look here. You can see right when Nomura gets back on throttle. Big e-brake pull there. See that lacking of angle by Hayashi as he transitions into inside clip 1. And then right here, real deep into that zone, nearly making contact with it. So I would not be surprised if this went in Nomura's direction. But
yeah.
I think maybe also one more time, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think Hayashi didn't hold up his own on the chase.
I think Hayashi had a okay, there's one more time. And there it is, one more time. So OMT. Lantagne saying Hayashi.
Wow, Lantagne going big.
Going big. Give it to Hayashi. Give it to the Hashi. All right, so it's a one more time battle between Hayashi and Ken Nomura. I had big expectations for Hayashi there. I thought he was just going to be way more dominant. I think eyeballs were on him, and Nomura yesterday wasn't. He qualified 31st, so barely getting in, and that just goes to show you just consistency and putting it down.
Anything can happen head-to-head.
Chris Forsberg, Tadahiro Fukada. Fukada, talking, with the judges yesterday. He won the inaugural Fuji round of competition. Or, excuse me, kicking off. So he won Fuji. Chris Forsberg, I would say a bit underpowered for him, talking with him last night, saying underpowered. It's right-hand drive. As you said yesterday, he's having some brain farts. By comparison to Fukada, a very dialed car. Not that Chris's isn't, but it's got power windows. Let's put it that way. So Fukada initiates. Good, strong initiation by Fukada. Getting out to the outside zone. Fukada using all the course. Chris Forsberg navigating past that front clip. Was close, losing some ground now. Fukada continues on. Well done by Fukada. Forsberg going for that world championship. Ryan, what do you think?
All things considered, pretty decent chase for Chris, but Fukada obviously competition spec vehicle, looking real solid out front. Take a look at it again here. You can see Chris knows he's got a little bit of a grip and speed disadvantage, so trying to stay close to Fukada out of the gate, but Fukada very deep into that zone. Great job there coming through that first inside clip. Now back around. You can see a slight separation here between Chris and Fukada. And then the final turn. So solid lead run for Fukada. Chris stronger probably on the first 3/4 of the run, falling back just a little bit there. If you take a look at it, you can see Chris trying to stay as close as he can, not let Fukada get away. Does a pretty good job of it there. And then Fukada really lays down the throttle here. You can see a little slight separation as Chris tries to reel him back in. And then Fukada, final turn here, finish up strong.
And like you said, he's on what he's accustomed to, the other side of the vehicle. So not only is he chasing him down, but he's also coming and approaching the point of no return, that gap and that wall that is unforgiving. So you're trying to get that proximity, you're trying to gain some ground and maintain the angle, and then, oh yeah, you're on the other side of the car.
Big challenge.
Fukada looking really strong. With Forsberg qualifying even into the top 32, some points, as you said, critical points gained for the World Championship. Still 2 rounds left to go. If he advances on, just another sum of points in his corner. Here we go, Forsberg out front. Fukada giving it big, nasty initiation there from Forsberg. Big flick into the rear clipping zone. Nice job by Forsberg. Fukada staying on it. Forsberg navigating past that first front clip into the second rear clipping zone. Through the gap. Fukada keeping consistent angle and maintaining, I'd probably say, the same distance throughout the course. I think Forsberg was more aggressive on the first portion in his chase position, and I would say that was a strong lead run.
I'm very surprised that Fukada allowed Chris to get away like that, or that Chris had enough in that vehicle to pull a gap on him from the get-go. You can see solid initiation here by Forsberg. A sizable gap established if you do the comparative battle between the lead and chase of the other run where Fukada was in the lead position. So a bit of a gap here, and I can see that not looking good for Fukada, who had a pretty solid pass at his run number 1. Chris stuck it to him for the first half, 3/4 of the run there, so you can see some noticeable differences as Forsberg is able to extend a little bit further while staying on line and at angle here.
Do you think the needle goes either way?
I'm going to guess right now.
Wow.
I'm writing this down.
Okay. Slide him left for Fukada and right for Chris Forsberg, and there it is. Chris Forsberg gets the win, and I'm really surprised at that. I mean, not after the call, not after the run, but I'm really impressed with how Chris Forsberg drove there.
Certainly did not have a lot of the ammunition in his side of the camp there. But yeah, his first ever win in Formula Drift Japan, so congratulations.
Yeah, that's excellent for him and his camp. And what's funny is he came out here by himself.
He is his camp.
Yeah, he is his camp as far as this weekend goes. He flew out by himself, drove 3 hours. He flew out of not Narita, but another airport. Wow, just going litter. Ryan just throwing trash on the ground.
I was moving.
Here we go, Yamanaka and Iha. Iha looked great yesterday, but Yamanaka, I got to say, he is one to watch. And just as we see that, solid by Yamanaka, excuse me. Iha, you know, he's gaining that proximity, but nah. Iha struggling in that chase position. Ryan, what do you say?
A lot of mistakes for Iha. Very noticeable mistakes as well. Kenji Yamanaka, solid lead run, so should be good advantage here to Kenji Yamanaka. Did that come out of that bag?
Yeah.
Oh, dark. That's a full-on MSG, huh? Is that what it said? Oh, MCG.
MGC. I thought it said do not fat.
Well, you can see there, Iha, multiple mistakes after outer zone 1. Big shallowing right there. Gets held up as well. So he'll have a lot of work to do here in run number 2. It got dark, huh? No, it's just moving it out of the way.
Oh, Ryan Sage. That's Ryan's beef jerky. That's Ryan's beef jerky. I don't know what it is. Thanks for joining us again. A casual top 32 here as just these events are, you know, we have a lot of eyeballs, a lot of ears, a lot of people watching, listening. Thank you. Join the conversation. Hashtag FD Japan, hashtag FDJPN, at Formula D Japan. They have their dedicated Formula Drift Instagram account. Talking to the social media guy, they say the big thing here in Japan is, social media-wise, is Line. I'm not familiar.
It's like I think it's like a WhatsApp type thing.
Yeah. What's up with that? What's up with that? Yamanaka looking good, man. Good old Kenji in that Tomei Power Top Tool Mark II. Iha's car, super solid. Love the Aristos. Nah.
It's only the top 32.
Here comes Iha out front. Yamanaka giving chase. Yamanaka, what happened? Yamanaka. It's a red flag. We got flag.
Iha didn't see it.
Iha getting pitted. Okay. Iha saw. Iha got a little trance there. Just in the zone. Not now. Not now, coach. Whatever you say, chief. How's that green tea, Ryan?
I think this is the oolong, not green.
Oh, it is oolong.
I don't know. It looks like it's peeing all over me.
So casual. So casual.
Yeah, it's been a fun time here, man. But I'm ready to get going.
That was so honest.
It's been really hard. It's been hot. It's been so hot.
Oh gosh! You just told everybody who's watching what's going through your head. That's hysterical.
No, but literally,
Ryan,
we've been here
I
since
you.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
you know. And
well, like you said it, and it bears repeating. When you come to Okayama International Race Circuit, everything is just here. The closest 7-Eleven is 30 minutes, and the guys that you joined them, they have their customary ice cream run. The judges go down to 7-Eleven to just leave this compound. That's called what it is, and it gets a bit Groundhog Day, as we were joking this morning. It's it's like Bill Murray waking up and hearing the same song, and you've been here since Wednesday.
Last time was the first night I got off campus, so that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's quote Ryan Sage. Yeah, it's been pretty cool here, but I'm ready to go. All right, here we go. Iha Yamanaka. It's get another. Now, if you can recall, Yamanaka has led. This is the second half. This is the run 2. Iha out front. Yamanaka giving chase. Again, not applying the pressure. I'm just really baffled on the lack of aggression in the chase position. Because I don't believe that Iha is that much overpowering vehicle of Yamanaka.
Well, Iha certainly had some pretty good and sizable mistakes in his chase run, but Yamanaka was not really a factor here. I want to see what happened on initiation. Take a look at this again. Both drivers get out of the gate pretty equally there. You can see sized up. Yamanaka tucks behind. Iha into initiation here. And then right there, just Yamanaka gets tied up a little bit. Tries to get back on throttle, but by this time, Iha is about 4 car lengths ahead. And, pretty decent, solid lead run, midline through outer zone 3. Yamanaka picks it up now. Close the door a little bit, but is that a one more time? Or Iha's mistakes too
I think
big?
Iha had quite a few mistakes in that chase position. Yamanaka kept the same distance the entirety, but right there, yeah, he just, like you said, he gets choked up. And Yamanaka's hesitation in initiating out of the gate too. Like you saw Iha initiate, and then Yamanaka's like, oh, maybe I should do that too. It was kind of like all right, I'll show up. I want to see this door-to-door, man. I mean, Yamanaka's got a very capable car. He qualified 7th. Iha, some wavering in that chase position, but then he gets out front. He looks settled, looks very strong.
All judges expressing a little bit of disappointment in the chase run there by Yamanaka, and equally by Iha. It'll just be a matter of who had the better leads and were we able to get more out of their chase runs, comparatively speaking.
And Yamanaka gets the win. It's unanimous. Kenji Yamanaka. So as we said, Iha and those mistakes in the chase, I think that was the deciding factor. But Yamanaka's got to step it up. I mean, he goes against Takanohashi or Koguchi in the next battle. Congratulations, good old Kenji Yamanaka. Got Chris Forsberg's brother, Eric Forsberg. He's watching the stream right now. Shout out to him. You got anybody watching at home? Nah. Your cat? Your cat's not watching?
No, don't have a cat.
I know, I'm joking. Kitty cat. All right, this is the one more time battle. Kazuki Hiyashi and Ken Nomura. Whoa, look at that, Hiyashi. Look at Ken Nomura applying it, really pouring it on. Nice job, Hiyashi. Into that rear clipping zone. Ken Nomura tightening the gap. Good execution from Nomura. Like I said, in qualifying yesterday, Nomura qualifying 31st, but now when it comes to head-to-head, he's really shown some presence.
Yeah, once again, laying down a pretty solid and aggressive chase run. You can see Hayashi into initiation here, drops that left rear wheel, gets back on it. Big angle here by Hayashi. A little bit of wavering there as he leaves outer zone 1. You can see Nomura right there next to Hayashi. Pulls back a little bit on outer zone 2, then back into it on outer zone 3. Nice and tight through the finish line there. So solid lead run by Hayashi once again, but Nomura he's unable to shake Nomura. Now we'll mix it up. Nomura will go to the lead position, Hayashi to the chase. So take a look at it here. You can see that one little area right there was a little bit of separation. Nomura sees that that's taking place. He takes a little bit of a tighter line to gain proximity there. So now Hayashi knows what he needs to do in order to win here. Nomura's got to lay down a similar lead run to Hayashi.
And as we said, Hiyashi not as dominant as we expected after a number 2 qualifying run. Ah! What's another Pearl Jam song?
A literal one?
Yeah.
Another where'd that come from?
The Eddie Vedder thing. I wanted you to do Eddie Vedder impersonation.
Oh. Hello,
That's pretty good. All right, here we go. Ken Nomura out front. Hayashi giving chase.
Nice.
Well played by Nomura. Hayashi. Whoa, both of them going to the dirt. He said chase him down, and Hayashi's doing it. To the umpty-ninth degree into that gap.
Oh!
Hayashi correcting, backing off. Oh! Oh, Ryan's showing you his O face right now.
We got a lot of excitement on that one.
Yeah,
that was another weird one, kind of.
Hayashi was like, follow him, almost to his demise, going off in the dirt. Hayashi into the gap, and then it's just insanity.
I can see the judges
I like
leaning
it, though.
close to their monitor.
I don't think there was contact, though.
So nice job right there on an initiation by Nomura. You can see goes a little bit strong there. Hayashi goes off with him. Now Hayashi's going to get super close right there, and then right up against the basically the rear door, straightens out a little bit. Then right here, it looks like he taps him.
Was there contact?
I believe it does look like he taps him, like a little tiny,
like a what?
like a.
Just a.
Watch. Let's get it from this angle.
I don't know if this is going to be the best angle.
Just see if you see the lead car have a little. Wow, that's incredible right there.
Right here. This is there.
See it? See that little.
Yeah. I want to look at Hayashi's car. Was it wheel to wheel? See if we get one more angle here. The judges. I liked Hayashi though. He stepped it up.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, some scrubbing of speed.
Here it is again. Now, I mean, the question will be obviously it's something we'll not be able to ascertain is whether or not this contact, if that's what it is, that's what it looks like, actually caused Nomura to do that. Which that's a little bit more.
Oh, basically you're saying, did he flop?
I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying I'm just asking the question. Even little contact like that, can do stuff, but people want to say things as well.
Your excitement level was genuine. Okay, boom. Hayashi aggressive. You see him. There's no contact there. Hayashi straightens, and
just that little.
Yeah,
nub,
you see the car move. You see Ken Nomura's skyline have some contact. Okay, Ryan, you're talking to the judges. What's going on here?
They're basically going to be voting individually, like they always do, about who's going to be the victor there if we have one.
Right.
And maybe we'll get Lantain in here to just give his side of things, just so we can get an interpretation. Because I did hear him talk about some other stuff that we didn't talk about, so it'd be good to get their take.
Hashtag FD Japan. So taking a look at it again, this is Hayashi out front, Nomura giving chase. This is the first run, dissecting that. Transitioning through Hayashi. Nomura takes that shallower line through the gap, gains that proximity.
So let's just say, for sake of argument, that's even, right? Now it's going to be the interpretation of the contact or the things leading up to the contact. Of course, it always is. That's where you know, all the controversy plays out.
Our panel of judges up here, Andy Yen, Ryan Lantain, and oh, look at that. So Hayashi, oh, wow, look at this. Now Lantain goes Hayashi.
Wow.
Kazuka Hayashi. So 2-1, Hayashi gets the victory. Grabbing one of the judges, Ryan Lantain, as Robbie Nishida is a judge with us. Lantain, you went on Hayashi's camp.
I did go on Hayashi's camp. I've seen this type of behavior from some drivers in that area. It's kind of an area where people like to play games a little bit because maybe they feel that we can't see what they're doing. Maybe they feel that it's kind of an area where they can get away with things.
Okay.
But it's an area where there is no denoted clip or anything in that spot right there where that happened. But from outside zone 3 to inside clip 1, you should be on throttle. This is an area where there is no reason to be slowing down. It is uphill. Should you be lifting and really coasting in that area? It's not a natural thing to do. So It's either the lead driver made an error, which we can't hold the chase driver super at fault for when we're telling them to be so close together, or the lead driver's playing games. And we've seen actually Nomura do that very same thing here in previous years, specifically. Now, Robbie felt that he gave him the benefit of the doubt, but Andy and I both thought that it wasn't something that he should have been doing in that area. And he did slow down really awkwardly at outside zone 2 as well, where you could see Hayashi kind of having to adjust to that also. So I know that some drivers have that kind of follow them around, like, he likes to play games. I don't know that of him because I've only judged him twice in competition. But that is something that we definitely don't like to see in that area. He did have a big tire drop here as well. Not that would be enough to zero out or anything like that. That was only one tire, but it's just, if you watched Hayashi's lead right here, you can see how slow he is. There's barely any tire smoke. Hayashi through there is on throttle, really aggressive, and I can guarantee you that Nobuken's qualifying run did not look like that either.
Right.
That's not what we consider a chaseable lead run. You know, that's not what we're looking for in the qualifying side of things. We're looking for momentum to be maintained, throttle to be maintained, especially in areas like that where you need momentum to get up that hill. You're not going to get up the hill otherwise.
You got to power.
It looked like a bait to me. Like, hey, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I know you're close. I want you.
All right. Yeah. Well, back to the task at hand. Thank you for your elaboration and your justification of your verdict. I miss having, the addition of Lantain and giving commentary and feedback. I miss it, now that we don't have it.
Yeah, so it's really nice to get his insight. He's very, very nuanced and knows exactly what he wants to say. So it's nice to have Ryan chime in on that and certainly give us their perspective.
5 more battles left in top 32.
Oh, and then I talked to Robbie. I'll tell you what he said about why he went the way he went.
Okay. All right, here we go. Our next battle. Takanahashi and Koguchi. Takanahashi and that S15 out front. Koguchi chased him down. Not all the way out to that rear clipping zone. He is chasing him in close proximity. Whoa, look at that coming really tight there. Takanahashi very shallow, shooting the gap. Koguchi, a decent chase job. Like the proximity, but would drop back just a little bit more and get into that pocket.
So our number 10 and number 23 qualifier, respectively, for Takanahashi and Koguchi. Big initiation there for Takanahashi. Gets right back on throttle. You can see Koguchi eyeing him up, keeping him there. Big angle once again from Takanahashi coming out of outer zone 1. Pulls out of outer zone 2 a bit early there, and a really tight line through outer zone 3. Koguchi gets a little bit out of whack in the chase position as well. And then a final left-hander, both drivers cross. Here we take a look at it from initiation once again. You can see right there, smoke cloud getting back on throttle is Takanahashi. Koguchi trying to do a best job mirroring that he can. And then right there, very tight line through that section of the course, narrowly hitting the wall on the inside. So a mistake there for Takanahashi and being a bit over-aggressive. And now they'll switch it up. Anyway, so Robbie was saying that he thinks that the other two judges are probably right, that they're what Ryan was saying about playing games in that area was probably right, but he doesn't feel he can actually prove it.
Okay.
So he just goes off with what he sees aesthetically.
Okay. All right. That's and I was going to ask how talking with Robbie. We're again here all at the compound talking with Robbie Nishida. He says, man, just the mindset of the judges and what's going on. And Robbie's been competing in Formula Drift for years, and I think he's well respected around the pits and the paddock and his driving and everything. So just learning, to be a judge, there's a lot of knowledge gained being up here. Wow, big gap. Kaguchi thrown down. There's no red flag. So Takanahashi nowhere to be found as Kaguchi powers through. Nice job. Brings it in through the gap. Takanahashi way back there. Kaguchi. Whoa. Weird. You see Kaguchi there. As he shot into the gap, you saw him really kind of slow and scrubbing some speed.
Not sure what happened there. Maybe we can decipher a little bit here from the start, but
they leave at the same time. Just Takanahashi he
doesn't seem to be accelerating, or there you go. You can see the car
jar
finally got in the mix, but by this time it's pretty much too late.
Peace out, says Kaguchi. Watch Kaguchi come through the gap. You see him scrub a lot of speed.
Oh, we got to come to the wide angle here to even just get them both in.
See how it just bogs down? Right?
Yeah.
All right, well, I have to think Yoshiniro Kaguchi is going to get the victory. And there it is. Kaguchi gets the victory and advances on. Takanahashi, unfortunately, our number 10 qualifier is knocked out. All right, Mad Mike Wedette and Kazuhiro Kubo. Mad Mike Wedette, winner at Ebisu. He's in a car deemed Humble. He's got his fleet of bulls. Rad Bull, Humble, Incredible. Mad Mike Wedette initiating into that first rear clipping zone. Kubo trying to manage this slick FDRX7 into that rear clip, getting into the dirt, wound up. Mad Mike Wedette, very sporadic all over the course. The thing is just a rocket ship. Said he was having some electrical gremlins yesterday. Would, in practice would throw something in and boom, like wouldn't have power steering, wouldn't have this. So glad to see that the car's up and running.
A lot of fun to watch here, Mad Mike. You can see Kubo makes a mistake from the onset right there. He initiates a little bit weird. He loses angle. Now he's playing catch up here as Mad Mike deep into that first outer zone. Super quick through inside clip 1 and outer zone 2. Drops a tire there, but pretty solid run overall as Kubo tries to close the door towards the end here, but it should be advantage Mad Mike after run number 1.
So Kazuhiro Kubo.
There you see the little mistake there by Kubo on initiation, just getting a bit over aggressive and then has to pull some angle out of the car. And then you've got this pretty consistent separation here. There they are.
Hear me spoken last day. This is my Michael McDonald impression.
Yeah, see, that's where you
give it away. Mad Mike Wedette cracking open the door, getting some fresh, hot Japanese air. These guys have got to be sweating in these cars.
Oh man, I can only imagine. It's got to be 120 in there.
120? Shoot.
$130?
I thought you said something else. You said $130. Okay. I thought you said something else. I thought you said expletive. All right, so Mad Mike Wedette will be chasing down Kubo. Mike's chase game has been really strong in this FDRX7. He says it just works. He says we got this thing dialed. We saw that. Like I said, some of the most amazing driving in Ebisu earlier this year. Look at Mike closing the gap, Kubo, big angle, nice job. Kubo not backing down. Man, that thing is just firing off. Woo! Mad Mike Wadette surging forward. Kubo, a really good lead run. Whoa, Kubo and Wadette. Wow. Solid chase job there by Mike.
You get why he is so popular, because everything he does is just over the top,
right,
and exciting and fun and loud. And he does a pretty good job here, along with Kubo.
Kubo had a great lead run.
Yeah, big e-brake pull, though. And then Mike on the inside here stays with him. Solid out front by Kubo on outer zone 1. And then right here, Mike is going to really tighten the screws here on this last inside clip around into the finish line, tucking through that smoke cloud right in the pocket. But
that could have got ugly. That could have really got ugly there. You saw Kubo, when he went through the gap, you see him max out the angle, and then just whook, you see him snap it back and almost come to a halt.
Let's watch it again from the long view here. Through outer zone 3. See a little tiny straightening there from Mike.
Big angle, hangs it out.
Through the smoke cloud, boom. Yep.
That could have got ugly.
That could have got a little ripped.
Look at Mike.
Sweet.
Sweet as, bro.
What is that? What is
sweet
it?
as? Sweet as, A-Z.
Oh,
like,
sweet
it's
as.
A-S. No, not, it's like sweet. It's a saying. Okay.
Sweet as what?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, oh, it's sweet as this. It's sweet as that. You could just say sweet as. Oh, that's pretty sweet. All right, Mad Mike. Sure, bro. All right, there's Ikuo Saito and Yamada driving that Ford Mustang. I'm kidding. It looks like a Mustang, but that Sylvia S15. And we got the Mahdi's. Got the Mahdi's car of Saito. Yamada out front initiates in that first rear clip zone.
Initiation.
Yeah, very late. Oh, Saito applying the pressure. I think Saito really got thrown off there. Yamada, late initiation. That's hard. That's a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
What do you think? You're kind of you seem a little defeated.
I mean,
you're like, that was poor.
Yeah, kind of poor. I mean, way past the last standing initiation cone. Well, we should be able to see it from.
What do the judges dictate? I know, but I'm just kind of fishing it out of you. What do the judges say? When do they want to initiate?
Well, there's 3, 2, 1 cone. You can see there's 1.
Way late.
I mean, he's way past that. It's in the past it used to be a 0, but I think now it's just a huge deduction. But in tandem, it plays such an important role in how the vehicle is going to be set up for the rest of the course, especially in the chase position. So, poor initiation, yeah. Okay.
Arigato. Ohio gozaimasu. Formula Drift Nation. We're here at Okayama International Circuit. I'm Jared DeAnda. This is Ryan Sage. Staying out of the heat? Staying cool, Ryan?
I was.
Yeah, this guy, yeah. All right, so the judges do agree that was kind of a poor initiation.
Poor initiation, yeah.
So unfortunately for Yamada, that late initiation, and unfortunately for Saito, that was really hard to follow. I think he really got thrown off.
Yeah.
See the chrome nose of Yokoi in the background there. Masashi Yokoi is going against Hiroshima. Saito out front. Yamada giving chase. Saito initiates. We'll see how Yamada hangs. It seemed that he might be a little underpowered compared to Saito. Lacking angle is Yamada as Saito. Ryan, your body language speaking volumes here. Just kind of like, what's up?
Yeah, kind of a lot of mistakes back and forth. You have the opportunity. You need to shut the door.
Yep.
Especially in the lead position here. So let's take a look at this again here. Saito in the lead, Yamada in the chase position. Yamada, again, look at how late the initiation is. Straight line past that third standing cone. Out of the zone.
No angle.
Out of the zone a little bit early is Saito. And Yamada, yeah, really having a tough time. But then Saito right here straightens out, nearly stops, has to reinitiate.
Hashtag not the prettiest.
Yeah, not the prettiest.
As we await the judge's verdict.
Here it is again, Jared. You can see it straight for Yamada in the chase position. Not having the greatest time here, but then Saito giving a little bit back as he nearly comes to a stop, has to reinitiate. Not a good look for him, but Yamada just a ton of errors in both his lead and his chase position.
I'd have to agree with you.
So I'm going to go ahead and guess.
Beautiful day here. Clear skies. Not a drop of rain. Compared to last time we were here at Okayama, it snowed.
Yeah.
Just a slight dusting. There you are. You can see the fans coming out here, joining us. Kids of all ages.
What's going on? You guys not doing it anymore? That's it. That's it. The permanent discoloration.
Here we go. Okuo Saito and Kenji Yamada. Our three judges. Slide him left for Saito, right for Yamada. Andy Yen says Saito. Ashida says one more time.
I should.
And Lantain, one more time. I thought Saito was going to get that.
I did too.
I mean, Yamada. I think Saito had some mistakes. I don't think they're as compounded as Yamada's, both on his lead and his chase.
Yeah, the level of mistakes I thought was more.
Yeah, because Saito, I don't think we saw a good take on his chase run because Yamada's lead run was so lower level, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I think Saito's going to be like, all right, cool, I'm going to step it up now. But Yamada too, because Yamada needed to initiate way earlier than he did. All right, Masashi Yokoi, Hiroshima, giving chase.
Oh boy.
You stoked for this or what? Yokoi. Whoa, Yokoi. Big angle, looked like he was going to come to a halt, but filling that rear clipping zone, both the first and second, nice job. And Hiroshima back quite a bit of distance. Yokoi just ripping through the course. An exemplary lead run.
Well, here we go, looking at the run a second time here from Yokoi and Hiroshima. You can see Yokoi getting out. Big lead here. Probably 10 car lengths after initiation as he shoots into outer zone number 1. Big smoke line here. Inside clip 1, perfect. Outer zone 2, very tight there. Pretty deep into outer zone 3, and you can see Hiroshima now starting to close the door, but too little too late here. It'll be a solid lead run for Yokoi. And now Hiroshima's got his work cut out for him as he'll head back to the start line, and they will switch up positions.
All right, well, thank you for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, we are in the top 32 action here. We have one more battle after this, but also we do have the one more time between Yamada and Saito. After this, Takahashi and Harino. We are currently in this. We've seen the first run of Yokoi and Hiroshima. There's Yokoi. A dominant lead run by Yokoi. Now, how is he going to apply the pressure? Ryan, you said it. You know, I watched the live stream. Unfortunately, couldn't be there. You and Alexi announced. Ebisu, you said one of those battles that stands out in your mind, Yokoi and Wadette.
Yep. Yeah, one of the best ones of the year for me, besides Forsberg and Honadale in Montreal.
Here we go. Hiroshima out front. Yokoi in the chase position. Hiroshima initiating. Masashi Yokoi right there in the mix. Past that front clip. Oh, now bringing it home is Masashi Yokoi. All over Hiroshima is Yokoi. Go ahead and just ride it in, Ryan. Yokoi, a dominant performance, not only in the lead, but also in that chase.
Yep, did both jobs is Yokoi. You can see he gives a little bit of room to Hiroshima, anticipating that his car's going to be a bit slower here. He tucks behind. Nice initiation there, and then goes to work is Yokoi. Makes a slight little adjustment in angle there, but for the most part, he's maintaining very good pressure throughout this run, especially right here with more angle than Hiroshima. And it should be an easy win for Yokoi.
All right, going to the judges. Boom. Goes the dynamite. Masashi Yokoi gets the victory. And Hiroshima gets knocked out. Takahashi and Harino. Kuni, a.k.a. Kuni. Kuniaki. And Harino in that Ben Sopra S13. Okay, there we go. You can see Saito. There's Yamada on the start line. You know, the SR, a lot of still SR cars over here in Japan. A lot of SR powered. You know, in the States, we're seeing a lot more 2JZs. We're seeing even some RBs, even seeing some VQs. You know, the V8, the V8s are still present, but you know, not as kind of dominant or like an overwhelming amount as when they first started coming out.
Oh, you mean when everybody was like, oh, they're
it's all V8s, it's NASCAR, it's this and that. I think that, you know, the power plant variety is strong.
Certainly.
Here we go, Yamada out front. Saito giving chase. Yamada qualified 14th, Saito qualified 19th, so fairly equally matched. Yamada into the first rear clipping zone. Saito, so a lot better lead run, allowing Saito to have a good chase run. Not big angle past that front clip is Saito. Yamada pulling away from Saito now. Ryan, what do you think?
Well, definitely an improvement from the last battle for Yamada. We'll take a look at where he initiates this time around. Remember, last time he was way past the third standing cone, which is a big no-no. Take a look at the cones on the right-hand side. So right there, he's right at the third standing cone. So a definite improvement for him. Pretty good job on outer zone 1. Again, Saito, like you said, decent job, but maybe not the angle wrapping around that first inside clip. Then tucks up on the inside, tries to close the door a little bit more as Yamada. Slight little adjustment with the front wheels there, kind of lacking the angle around the finish line. But decent job by Yamada. And Saito as well. But nothing super standout from either driver. Just a better improvement from Yamada from run number 1, or battle number 1. And Saito just kind of keeping him in his sights, not trying to make too many mistakes, but not necessarily on the door as you'd like to see. Breakfast table in another nice empty room. How's that? Pretty good?
Wrong girl. Wide open. I don't even know what he's saying.
I don't know. I think the next part is center of your own attention.
Center of your own attention. What's that? That one song? Is it Crash Test Dummies?
Oh. Yeah.
Once there was this girl who got into an accident.
I always wonder what happened to those kind of bands. Although there's Big Kevs. I got a little problem here.
Uh-oh, Yamada. Mustang leaves the car meet like.
Oh, nothing. There you go. There's the Wicked Witch of the East Brooms.
Yeah. I'll get you in your little drift car too. Yeah, those are the official Okayama brooms clearing of the track.
I think those are like the official Asia brooms because I see those in
Sing and Malaysia. And, yeah.
Those will broom up anything.
The A scene.
Well, Yamada will probably have to call a competition timeout if he doesn't get to the line very quickly.
Big Kev, pointing
Big Kev
fingers.
is going to make it clear. Oh, yeah, he's making it real clear.
Yo, got to catch them all, Kevin. I drew a little picture of you, Ryan. See that. Got a comment from Chris Rode. Says, we're the best thing since Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, well.
Remember that show? Oh, wow, Yamada. Yamada says nada right now.
All right, he's going to do his CTO. They don't really tell us anything. We just observe and assume.
Oh, a car's on track. Got it. Again, the language barrier. I think Robbie, what is that? That's 2 zeros?
Nah, the T just didn't make it through.
CTO. Competition timeout. Competition timeout for Yamada. Saito waits. Okay, so one more time has now turned into a competition timeout for Yamada. Use it once and only once.
That area I think we've definitely improved in. Remember when it used to be we didn't have a limit on 5 minutes?
Oh, gosh.
But now I think what it's done is it's driven the teams to make more dependable vehicles.
Right. Yeah. Hey, what's your thought on bringing back the third place battle? It's kind of become, as far as run of show and things, we're still waiting for that final battle because whoever advances on in the 2 battles of the final 4, you still have to wait for the other car.
Right, but you're waiting for 1 rather than 2, and that third place battle historically it can add anywhere between 15 to 40 minutes to the end of the show. So if you ever want to do a live performance, the X factor or the unknown factor that is the third place battle just won't work.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that
we are bracket like any other series. They don't not other drift series, but other series that use brackets, whether it's NCAA or NHRA. There's no third place battle. But I'm fine with it if we want to bring it back.
Who's they?
Just people. But I don't think that internally it's gonna go. I think there's a push towards having the top 16 be a certain type of show, and I think that direction is not going to be repealed.
Any sort of leading to different venues next year, or anything you could publicly say, or any sort of progression of drifting at all? Just the dialogue. We had our town hall meeting in Seattle, and there'll be another one before Texas. Anything top of mind that you'd care to divulge?
No, it's just always really interesting. I think putting people into one room allows them to see the variance of opinions that there are about certain topics, and it also shows, I think, and this is no offense to younger drivers, just the fact of the experience of being involved in programs, it shows where the mindset of some of the younger drivers are in terms of the bigger picture of things.
Right.
Understanding what it is that we actually do, that we are trying to be the best drifting sanctioning body in the world. We are trying to be a professional series, and that means something.
Right.
And teams need to understand that. Most do.
I like this conversation. All right, here we go. We got Cooney out front, that Mark X, great-looking car. Yin Harino, he was throwing it down yesterday. Kuniaki showing up big time. Kuni into that final rear clipping zone, well executed, shooting the gap. Now transitioning, big angle there from Kuni as Harino brings it on home. Love that Mark X, man. Great looking car.
Great looking vehicle and a solid looking lead run for him.
Saito always makes a cameo. Whenever they mess up on the graphic, it's always Saito saying,
really?
hey guys.
So Kuni, a very solid start for him. As you can see, gets very deep with good angle into that first outer zone. Orino trying to stay with him here, but Kuni checking all the boxes. One of the few drivers getting really deep into that third outer zone, and you can see the fluidity and consistency out in the front, really noticeable here. Orino a few cars back. The drivers will mix it up. So we take another look at it from the long view here. Nice consistent smoke line for
Kuni.
Takahashi. Again, just very fluid motion, making it look really solid in that four-door. Good lead run.
Oh, Ryan.
Oh, Ken.
Hey, Ken Takahashi's here. Oh, hi, guys.
Yeah. Oh.
Little throwback of a Formula Drift judge, Ken Takahashi.
Now Snap-on distributor.
Snap-on. He's a franchisee. That's what he calls. He's a business owner. Oh, Ryan.
What do you think about this?
Cigar in mouth.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's great. Oh. All right, so Kuni now will be chasing down Harino. We have one more battle after this, or I should say one half of a battle, because Yamada and Saito, we saw Yamada call his competition timeout. As Ryan said, the CTO, we'll see if he even gets back. Wonder what happened there, but we have, so collectively, this run and one more run after that. Here we go. Harino initiates. Kuni giving him some room. Harino, get into the, wow! Going off-roading here. Got the Brodozer. Kuni keeping his composure. Kudos to Kuni. Harino. Brian Sage stroking the pen there, writing it down. I'd say the Kun. Kun's going to get it. Kuniaki Takahashi.
Well, you'll see the big mistake here that Harino makes, just overshooting that first outer zone. Like you said, oh, wow. Almost a little friendly contact there.
Friendly.
Right here, Harino just very deep, 3 tires off course. Stays in it, though, which is pretty good. Both drivers actually staying in it. But for Kuni, after that pretty solid run, number 1, I think that'll be enough to get him the win here. But he's going to have a tough battle in the 16.
Takahashi and Yokoi. Yeah.
Yokoi.
Yokoi?
Yokoi.
All right. Shout out to the DJ today, Variety, not listening to Foo Fighters all day yesterday.
Yeah, but yesterday at the top 32.
At the 32, it was
he did GNR.
It was one GNR song.
It was
Welcome to the Jungle.
You know, Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh, was this? I couldn't remember.
About 10 times in a row. Every time the first little note came on, I kind of did like a okay.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Andy Yent says Kuni, so does Robin Ishida and Ryan Lantain. The judges have spoken. They say Kuni wins. Well played. Kuniaki Takahashi, a.k.a. Kuni, gets the win.
All right, so Jared, we are hearing it.
Yamada's out.
That Yamada is out, and Saito will take his bye.
Not a Yamada.
He's out.
Not a today. All right, so Saito. Okuyo Saito. So a quick little run, and Saito will get the victory. Excuse me. Thanks for joining us here. This is the final run of Top 32. Local time, just for reference, 10:52, so almost 11 a.m. And looking at the schedule, we'll be back on the live stream local time at 1:40. 1:40, so that's so almost 11, so 12, 1. Man, is that two hours? So Okuyo Saito, the winner, Amati's West Auto Chaser. Okuyo Saito pulling through the course, and he's going to be going against Mad Mike Odette. So Saito navigating the course, and Saito will get the win as Yamada takes himself out. Ryan, top 16 set. We're seeing Mad Mike in the mix, Kenji Yamanaka, some familiar faces, Cooney, Yokoi, Andrew Gray, Semi Tanaka, Ben Williams. He's a fun one to watch, man. I like that kid. And notably, Chris Forsberg. You know, I said I was surprised. I wasn't surprised that he got the victory. I thought Fukada would just overpower him. And I think Chris Forsberg, you know, brought a knife to a gunfight, given that, you know, again, right-hand drive, didn't prep the car himself, about 500 horsepower. And, you know, the cards were kind of stacked against him, for lack of a better term. And I think he stepped up in a major way.
Yeah, just needed to qualify, but now he's into the top 16, so the story continues. And we've got some great battles ahead, so looking forward to it. And we're back out here at 1:40.
Yep.
2 o'clock, we'll start the top 16, and we'll get the final round of the World Championship underway and finish off with one more round in the Japan Championship in Okiabuki, which is a ski resort. Interesting area.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the final round of the Japanese.
Yeah, it's 1 week after Irwindale.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here. Thank you for joining us online. I'm Jared Diendo, Ryan Sage, on behalf of our whole staff. Again, we're just tightening up even more Okayama International Circuit. Thanks, Ryan, and we'll be back here in just a little bit.